Hello, SISD teachers. This is Mr. Mendoza, your instructional software specialist, and today I wanted to introduce you to Jamboard. Jamboard is another whiteboard example that is a wonderful tool that can help you annotate, it can help you bring in pictures, and it is interactive in such a way that your students can work on it at the same time as you are. So this might be a great tool when you are doing a Google Meet, and I'm going to show you an example of that right now. But first and foremost, let me show you where you can find Jamboard. Jamboard will be located here where you find your Google Apps, which is your 3x3 or your waffle. And what you're looking for is you're looking for this icon right here. It says Jamboard, and I already have mine open right here. So let's get to talking about some specs here. Couple of things that you could do with Jamboard is you can change the background, and you are limited to some of the backgrounds that you do have available. But I mean, if it serves a nice purpose, so you've got some nice colors here that you can use, you can go with all black, or you can just leave it as white. You can also clear the frame right away in case you need to erase or delete anything, and that makes it so much easier to use. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of our annotation tools. Some of the annotation tools that we have available are a pen, we've got a marker, we've got highlighters, and we've got a brush. Notice that this one's a little different than Canvas that I shared with you in the previous video. It doesn't have that extensive of a color palette, but it does serve its purpose. So I'm going to go ahead and switch to blue here. I'll pick a marker, and now we can go ahead and do a little bit of math here. There you go. So I'm writing out my math problem. And please pardon the lag. It is just because I am using a couple of other features in the background to just go ahead and demo this. But you would be able to do this live through a Google Meet, which is what I do have available right now. And I'll show you that in just a second. I want to show you a couple of more of the features here, which would be the eraser tool, where you can just go ahead and erase your math problem, or check this out, clear frame. There you go. So that will help you expedite the erasing. Here, you just simply have your pointer tool where you can go ahead and point. You've got some sticky notes here, and you can write any questions. Click save, and you can go ahead and set this here on the side, and students would be able to edit this, believe it or not, and I'm going to show you how they'll be able to do that. You can also insert some images. In the previous video, I uploaded some images from my desktop, but you can also do a Google image search. So here, let's say I want to find a, let's see, honeybee. There you go. So we've got the honeybee here, and let's say that I like this picture here. Now what we can do is we can go ahead and make this a little bit larger. There you go. And now we can annotate here if we were doing something dealing with parts of a bee. So we can annotate here, these parts, and so on. So that is really cool. And again, you can go ahead and take that, resize it. Now notice where the markings stay. The markings stay down here. That is an additional layer that you have available. So it didn't really stay here on our bee itself. But again, you do have a couple of limitations there. Now, the other thing that you can do is you have a laser pointer. So this laser pointer will allow you to go ahead and point and emphasize a couple of things as you are presenting. So for example, let me show you a frame that I have here already made. You can create an interactive activity that your students can go ahead and manipulate while you're working with them. Here, I've got a long A, short A example, and I brought in these clip arts here for this activity. So keep in mind, again, to bring in any images, you can do a Google image search. And let me go ahead and type in bat, but I'll put clip art. And I can go ahead and select maybe that one right there. Select, and I can go ahead and bring that in for my activity for long A, short A. And there you go. Now, remember, keep in mind, what we want to do is we want to go ahead and use this during a Google Meet session. So what you can do is you can set up your your demo board or your Jamboard ahead of time. And when you're ready to share, you can go ahead and click share and notice that it's set to private. We can change this. If we click on change, we can say anyone at Sherryland ISD with the link can view, or anyone with the link can view. Okay, now we don't want them to just view, we want them to be able to edit. So I'll go ahead and click on save. I'll do that one more time. There you go. So now we have this link here, and we're going to go ahead and copy the link. And I'm going to go here to my Google Meet. I do have a Google Meet available here that I'm using. Here is the student account. Here is the teacher account. All right, I'm going to go here into the chat, and I am going to go ahead and paste the link here and send it to my student. So here's my student on this end right here. In the chat option, they will go ahead and click open. And now they see the same board that you see. There we go. And now they can go to that same activity and notice right here on the right side, this is the student account. The student can go ahead and move the grapes, and notice that on the left side, you see the teacher account. So you can see what the student is doing. If the student wanted to go ahead and do some annotating here, then the student can go ahead and circle, and you would be able to see what it is that they are circling at the same time. So this is a great collaboration tool that you have available to use with your students. So again, now let me show you a couple things here. Remember that sticky note? And if you had something here that says type in questions here. All right, I'll go ahead and click save. This is the teacher side. Now notice it shows up over here on my student side. The student can go ahead and click that open and say, okay, what is my question? They can go ahead and type in, how do I do this work? If they had a question, then they can go ahead and click save, and now you'll be able to see what it is that they typed in here. Okay, so those are just some examples that you can do. Again, notice the interactive part here. If you had an activity, again, we can go ahead and go back over here to our previous frame. And again, I'll show you how you can go ahead and add an image. So let's upload an image from our desktop here. And maybe what we'll do is we'll add this other image here. There you go. And here you can have this open and available to your students while they are the ones that are answering questions. You can ask them questions based on this. The student can go back to that slide, and they can go ahead and again do some annotating there for you. Now notice what happens here. The annotation, you see it here on top of the photo, but over here on your side as a teacher, you just click on the slide, and now you're able to see the annotation there. All right. So hopefully this is something that's helpful to you, as now you're going to be using some Google Meets to interact with your students. Again, this was a quick demo, but please feel free to reach out to me at amendoza at Sherryland ISD, and I'll be more than happy to answer any and all questions dealing with your Jamboards. Oh, but wait, one more thing I forgot to mention. As a teacher, what you can do is if you go here to the more options, you can go ahead and download everything that you made. You can download it as a PDF. So let's go ahead and check that out and see how that works. So here is my SISD Demo Jam PDF. I'll click Save. Let me open this up. And now you have your PDFs right here with all your notes, your annotations that now you can go ahead and take and put into your students' Google Classrooms. So that is a great tool there. And let's go ahead and check here. And the student could also download this as a PDF as well, as you can see here. So again, Just a couple of neat tools that you can use, especially using Google Meets. You're able to collaborate all together in a class, or you can just go ahead and use the Jamboard on your own to create your annotations, and you can send them to your students, and again, using them to present live. So thank you very much, guys. I appreciate it.